they let me in every 3 months.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So,
What's it cost?
I don't know. We gonna figure out all the things.
All right, cool.
Yeah. But I was like Alice in Wonderland, like thrown into a whole ecosystem. Like, where am I? Okay. Hi, guys. Hi. Hi, guys. Y'all hold on. I'm trying to get my shit together. What else is new? It's taking me a minute. It's a second nap. Y'all know I go to bed at a certain time, wake up in the middle of the night, work, and then go back to sleep, and then wake up again to do the morning message. All right. I'm going outside, Vicky Lee. Hopefully it don't rain on my head. No, it just looks a little gray. Just looks a little gray. Woo! Hey, y'all. We're going out to the jungle. Hopefully I don't get too hot out here. Shit. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Oh, shit. It's so lovely. Let's let y'all get a little bit of nature in your life. I hear toucans. I don't hear any holler monkeys this morning. I don't see any sloths. But we do have a banana tree that's growing back. See the bananas on it? They're trying to come through. All right, kids. Let me get my shit on my head ready. All right, let's do it. Welcome to the morning message. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Let's get my face out the camera. Boom. Yeah. Welcome to the morning message. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. I'm trying to get y'all set up with a little bit better scene than the back of this building right here. I think this is gonna make me happy. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. How's everybody? What's up, Uzo? Greetings in the kingdom. Okay. Let me center in a little bit more. Welcome to the morning message, y'all. My name is Allah-mi. Hey. I'm an intuitive life coach. Every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. We do a live intuitive channeled message. Y'all can tell I just woke up. I got a little sleepy puffy face still. We're gonna work through it. I am an intuitive life coach. I specialize in self-mastery and human design. I help people reconnect with themselves so they can live from a place of honest truth, or what we call intuition. Making decisions they don't second guess, creating a life that they truly desire and deserve. Okay. If you want to learn more about me, what I do, how I be doing it, go to begreateveryday.com. So scratch my head. How do I be doing it? So, I be meditating, right? I be doing my own little work, doing my little journaling, my little meditation. I pull cards for myself. I pray. I be doing all the things in my own private time to create great hygiene for myself. Mental hygiene. Okay. And so in my meditation, recently, maybe a day or two ago, I got this big download around storytelling. Storytelling. It's like, Allah-mi, you need to tell more stories. And what's funny, even just to hear that on the surface, tell more stories, it's like, yeah, I probably do, because I have seen and heard and done a lot of shit in my life. I truly have. I have a lot of stories to tell. And it wasn't just like storytelling for storytelling's sake. It's not just telling your life stories just because no one's ever heard it. It's for all of us to really get more acquainted with storytelling as a way to build relationship as we move forward in these higher timelines. It's no longer going to be enough to build friendship off of reputation. What somebody has, or who somebody's affiliated with, or even what somebody knows. Okay. It's like we're going to start feeling through these relationships more readily based on the stories that people are telling. It's not that we're going to believe everybody on the surface. There's a level of discernment that's going to kick in, that we're going to be like, is this person telling the truth or not? And we're going to be fishing for authenticity, honesty, truth, sincerity. We're going to be fishing for those things in our relationships through our storytelling. Okay, so that's the first message of the day. You're going to be fishing through your relationships based on the stories they tell. Okay. And I know some of you will think like, oh, I'm going to be using my thinking mind to discern, is this person telling the truth or not? If they just tell me a good story and it feels good to me, I'm going to go with it and it must be truth. No, friends, this is the jump off point for relationship building. Okay. It's not the end all be all. They told me a story, it sounded good, end of story. That's not it, okay? Again, the storytelling is going to be the foundational baseline that helps us to get to know each other. Okay. Think about it. Don't we feel more acquainted to people that we know a little bit more about? Okay. For those of you who are in business, you know, you have a service or even a product, whatever you do in business, it's like that whole know, like, trust factor. How do you think people get to know you if you don't tell stories about your life, your experiences, things you've learned, things you've mastered? Okay. Especially if you're in business, right? You hear me talking about self-mastery and all the things that I've mastered and mastering. Okay, because I need to talk about my process. Okay. And many of you need to talk about your process. Okay. Shout out to all my entrepreneurs. If you sell something, you are listening to this live and you sell something, your audience needs to hear more stories. They need to hear more success stories of what happened when they used your product, your goods or services. They need to hear stories about you and your rise to fame and your coming of age story, is how you became the person you became now. They need to hear stories of what you struggled with, what the challenge was that came into your life that gave birth to the product or the project or the service or whatever it is you're affiliated with. It's like your audience needs to hear more stories. Okay. Most entrepreneurs, that's not a far off concept to connect to. Oh, brand story. People need to hear my story. Yes, they do. They need to hear your brand story. They need to hear your childhood stories, your personal stories, your parenting stories, your all your stories. Okay. Okay. Shout out to my parents in the place. You need to become a better storyteller. Okay. You know, shout out to our ancestors. I grew up in an age where kids were made to be on the outside of adult conversations. Kids were made to believe that they are to be seen and not heard in my generation. You weren't really brought to the table the front of the table for the storytelling. You might have been lucky enough to be able to sneak an ear on the outside of the adult circle that was having the adult conversation, but you certainly weren't in the midst of the circle, or what we would say in grown folks business, as they say. Okay. Man, it's crazy how some of this conditioning has passed down from generations and generation and generation. As part of our African core spirituality is the aspect of communal living, communal exchange, communal interactions, communal conversations. And as slavery would have it, to dismember us from not just, ourselves, but from our connection to source and each other, then we're taught that we're supposed to stay out of grown folks' business. Usually in those circles of adults is when lineage was really made, where legacy was passed down and traditions and cultural norms and practices and all these things is what usually would get passed down in circle, but all of a sudden we're supposed to stay out of, quote, grown folks' business. I don't think there's any mistake about that, culturally speaking. It's like they know the power of communal conversations, okay? And so to disrupt our reflexive need to do that, it was deemed as invaluable or obstinate, disrespectful, in fact. But these are the kind of conversations as a community, as a culture, as a nation, as a global nation, we all have got to turn back to is storytelling, okay? Parents, tell your children your stories. Your children need to know who you are, where you've come from, how you've come to be. This is how they come to understand themselves more readily. You may not even see the connection between their behavior and your behavior, but as soon as they hear the story of something you've gone through, now they draw the resonance of connection. Connection. Connection is a big reason why we need to tell the stories. Okay? If you're an entrepreneur, you want your audience to connect with you. You want them to feel at home with you. Know, like, trust. Trust is a big virtue. It's a big value. It takes time and intention and a willingness. So you're trying to get people to take time, give attention, and a willingness to get to know you without any stories? There's got to be some stories. You got to do more than tell the facts of what it is that you do and how it works. You got to tell the story of how it's going to make them feel. Okay? It's like parents, it's not enough just to tell your kids, don't do this, do that. It's like you got to help them understand who they become when they do that. Okay? Or when they don't do this. Storytelling. Storytelling. This is giving me the vibes of those who are listening right now and those who may catch this on the replay. It's like we got something to hide. Okay, whether it's shame or insecurity or, something in your history. It's like there's a reason why you don't tell a lot of stories. Okay. I used to feel like I shouldn't tell a lot of stories. Y'all hear me tell stories every day, multiple times a day on this platform. I use this as the way to tell my stories, in fact. Okay. And many of you should too. Start a vlog or YouTube channel or some kind of regular share where you're just sharing stories. Okay? We see this on TikTok. These people become viral and famous because they have 50-part stories. Part 1, part 12, part 34. And people tune in and go back. And they go back to watch each part by part by part. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Oh, shit. Told you I'd be channeling these messages. I don't know what I'm going to say. And then when I hear it, it's like, oh, shit, that's for you. Stay tuned. Story time. 50 parts. All right. Story time. 50 parts. Coming soon. But yeah, it is for us to do that. And people do like multi-part, multi-sequence stories. Okay, if they see your timeline and it's like part 4 and it's a good juicy part, they're gonna want to go back for part 2, 3, and 4. Okay, they want to go back. Okay, so it's a lot of need to tell stories. Okay, and you're like, well, which stories? The ones you're comfortable with, the ones you can talk about publicly, the ones you know you need to talk about publicly. Okay. Uh-oh, Mr. Rain. Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. My neighbor has an umbrella. I might need it. Trying to see how bad it's about to get. Y'all with me? Like the video if you with me so far. Storytelling. Shout out to my parents. Even if you're not a parent, you had parents somewhere, somehow. Don't you wish your parents told more stories? I know some of us have parents who have told repeatedly the same stories over and over and over and over and over again. You ever thought to ask them a different question about something you haven't learned about? This is for those of you, obviously, you have parents that are still living. God bless you. What a blessing. Yeah. Think of some questions to ask your living parents. What was a typical day like for them in high school? What was their first job? Look at my baby mama. She loved me so much. You traveled across the ocean for me, girl? I know it's slushy and sloshy right there. Thank you.
Just keep your shit dry.
Thank you, mamas. I am spoiled. Yes, I am. Just don't want my cars to get wet. Everything else can get wet. All right, let's try that. Yeah, storytelling from our parents. Okay, if they're still living, you should have 20 questions ready to go. Doesn't mean you ask them all on the same day. Maybe it's just one question a week, okay? Particularly your elderly parents, parents who are starting to decline in their cognitive function or their physical health and ability. It's like they love to talk about themselves, okay? And there may be certain topics that they may be unwilling to go near because they just swore on their life they're never going to go there, and that's okay. There's plenty of other topics to choose from, okay? Find one that works for them. Storytelling as a means of connection and relationship building. My father, who had a long, extended bout with multiple sclerosis, where it's a degenerative kind of breakdown of your body, limb by limb, organ by organ. And, he had lost all of his physical ability to navigate on his own. He was a quadriplegic at this point. And he started this series, and this is not what my dad did, but he started this habit, this routine of hosting Sunday dinner. And all of his local kids that lived in the area, myself included, we'd show up for Sunday dinner. And these Sunday dinners were not just for, to break bread and eat food. The Sunday dinners was his opportunity to tell his stories. So that's why he started. That's why I call it a series, okay? Because every Sunday, his wife would make dinner. We would come over. He would tell another new story, okay? It was only at the end of my father's life that I really got to know him. Like, really got to know more about him. During his life, what led our relationship was mostly his reputation. Yeah, it was how he engaged me, but it was mostly what other people thought or said about him that really influenced how I engaged with him. Listening to other people's stories about my father did not make me interested to really want to get to know him. In fact, I thought I already knew him based on the stories they told. So it wasn't until my father was on hospice care, and he was on hospice care for about 6 months. So we had a lot of time for stories. And in those stories, I started to learn more about how he felt in his life, not just what he did. And that was really powerful. Because I know with many of you, it's like, you know, we love our parents, you know, God rest their soul, those are still living, like we love them. But much of what we came to understand about our parents is through their action, not through this connection to their sentiment, okay? Much of what we learn about our parents, especially growing up, is through their action, not through their intention, okay? It's like, damn what they intended. And oftentimes they have really good intention, right? They think they're doing the right thing to talk to you this way or to create these boundaries or to force you to do X, Y, or Z. They think that is the expression of love. That's how they're teaching you. Not realizing that the best way for so many of us to learn is through storytelling. Through hearing, listening, and feeling for our reflection to their experience. Not just listening and internalizing their story as now a truth we should hold, but like reflecting in our own feeling experience about what they're saying. How does it make you feel to know that your mom or your dad had certain childhood experiences or certain challenges in their early career, in their early life, with their mental health? Okay, it's like, how many of you learned about your parents' mental health through stories they told as opposed to actions? Like, oh, they gotta be crazy to be doing some shit like that. Okay. So it's just a lot of, you see, I've been on this conversation around parents for a minute because it's not just for us as parents, it's also to seek this knowledge and wisdom from our parents, our own parents. Okay. Even those of you whose parents and grandparents have transitioned, that's okay. Okay. You're like, how I can't talk to them, I can't get into the store. Yeah, you can. Because they will visit you in a dream. In a daydream or a night dream. Okay, you will get a download or someone coming to approach you to confirm for you, yeah, when I used to know your grandmother, she did do X, Y, and Z. You're like, damn, that came to me in a dream. It can come and will come if you're open to it. So asking your deceased ancestors, that's okay. Ask them to give you insight and wisdom to what were their struggles. Why were they the way they were? Ask them, why did you treat me like this? What was going on with you? Ask those questions, okay? And I'll say, I dare you to ask those questions because you may think, well, I'll just do it. Let me say I'll do it. Let me just see what's going to happen. Then when you start getting clarity of an answer, you're like, whoa, shit, hold on. I never knew that, but I always felt that. Damn. So-and-so made mention of that, but I just never really, until you start getting your own internal conviction. What's up, Jade? These are the things I learned when my parental and their siblings are all together. But also now, as they are getting older, I try to make time to call them, especially since they're all retired, empty nest, and they love to talk. Yeah, I get all the random tea. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, aunts, uncles, anyone in your lineage. Anyone. Okay? Anyone. There may be folks, unfortunately, that were younger than you that transitioned already. They have wisdom as well. They have stories to tell. Okay? So that's a really great thing that you're doing, Jade. Becca, that's a really, really, really great thing. So many of us, I need to do better with that, with some of the matures in my family, checking in with them. Just letting them yap. Because that's all they want to do is just talk. Share their little business. But allow them to share not just the day-to-day stuff, challenge them to go back into history, into the reservoirs of the wisdom. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I got to keep this message on schedule because Vic said I don't have all day. I got stuff to do. I'm trying to set a weekly rotation. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like every third Sunday or something like that. Call so-and-so on every second Sunday. All right. I got a couple decks in front of me. I got this Intuitive Life Coaching Oracle deck. I love this deck. It's just rather large. It's a good deck though. So we've been talking about storytelling, right? Okay, but there's a reason why some of us don't tell stories. First of all, some of us are not good storytellers. Let's just be real about that. Okay. It doesn't mean you shouldn't share, but it does mean we might want to be real about that. What makes a good storyteller? Story has structure, organization, a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then if you're really impressive, you're going to round it out with the moral of the story. Like, what was the whole point of me telling the whole beginning, middle, and end? Okay. Some of y'all be losing the plot. Somewhere midway through the story, you start just getting kind of caught on the details and just expanding the middle. And we never really get to the end, or we check out before the end gets near. So it's like beginning, middle, end, moral. Okay? That's your storytelling framework. Beginning, middle, end, moral. That's it. Now you can go out in the world and create all kind of social media content and vlogs and all kind of shit. Beginning, middle, end, moral. That's it. This rain gonna try to get me. I gotta move around. Hold please. My little umbrella is not about to get it. This is an actual rain cloud over my head. An actual, factual rain cloud. You're the one I seem to come back to just to get me on. You got to love, you got to love. Baby, baby, baby. I got so much love. Ooh, don't step in the mud. Sorry, I reposition, reconfigure. Reconfigure some shit. Boom. All right. Let's talk about oversharing. Storytelling and oversharing. Buenas. All right. Let me get to this. They're trying to get to this oversharing part. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Beginning, middle, end, moral. Yeah, that keeps you from oversharing. Okay. Keep it all nice and tight and get out of there. That's it. It's not real complex. Keep it nice and tight and get out of there, okay? You don't have to go into too much detail about too many of the details, okay? Just keep it tight. A lot of energy around keep it tight. If you're like me, you like to tell a long-winded story, okay? It doesn't always have to be that. Oh my God, this rain is about to be so beautiful. You guys have to. You can't see it though. You don't hear it? It's hard to hear. It sounds amazing. Okay. So, yeah, nice and tight. I got 3 cards. I don't know where they're coming in, but let me just get them out here. I don't know what they're telling me. First card out says mentor. You're about to meet a person of high integrity who will guide you in the right direction. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, it's like I want to tell you this with no expectations, but the message is here, so you could probably feel safe to have the expectation. I was talking yesterday or the other day about opportunity coming in. Um, Unexpected money, unexpected opportunity coming in. Um, I don't remember all the details of it, but it was like surprise opportunity. And so when I say like, I don't want you to expect this, but expect this energy of the mentor feels like just you going about, living your regular life. You're going to come into contact with someone who has opportunity. Okay. It's like someone who has opportunity to elevate you. Okay. And they have opportunity to elevate you. You may or may not know this. Okay. This person may be somebody you already know. It might be a complete stranger, but it's like there's somebody who has a little bit of familiarity with you. Maybe they've heard about you through somebody or happen to see you on social or something like that. It gives the vibes of like this. I just want to say, as a rule of thumb, be nice to everybody. Okay. Be nice to everybody. Um, Start paying attention to how often you tell stories. Okay. And tell stories with intention. So it's like when you're out at the bank and the random person behind you starts talking, it's like engage them, okay? It's a season of being more open to random connections, being open to sharing about yourself and maybe ways that you're not used to, telling a little bit more about yourself to a perfect stranger that you might otherwise guard off. This mentor card is giving me the vibes of like you're gonna cross somebody in passing, just living your life, but it's for you to be open. It's like sometimes we be out in the world and we don't want to make eye contact or we don't want to have to cross paths with somebody we know because then we gotta speak. It's like don't be doing that type of shit. You're gonna block your blessing. Okay. This card says you are about to meet a person of high integrity who will guide you in the right direction. And so this is why it's like this is why you gotta be nice to everybody, okay? It's because you never know what connections they have. You never know what opportunities are right up their sleeve or right just around the bend. It's like you just never know, okay? So it's like be courteous, be nice, dress for success when you leave the house. It's like um, don't avoid the eye contact. It's be open. It's be open energy, okay? Because you're gonna meet somebody who stands to give you an increase, is what I want to say. To give you an increase, whatever that may look like, okay? Okay. All right, I feel complete with that. Let's keep it moving. The next card says automatic negative thoughts. Automatic negative thoughts. You are learning to take charge of the thoughts you choose to give life to, okay? You are learning to take charge of the thoughts you choose to give life to. So I mentioned that some of you are not great storytellers, and that's not a diss necessarily. It's just a fact. Okay, you gotta really tighten up your storytelling so that you don't lose people, so that people actually want to listen, so that they stay engaged, so that you talk about things that matter. It's like lock in. This is about refinement, okay? Not about casting doubt. This is about refinement. And this automatic negative thoughts card is just in that vein. It's like I want to speak to the insecurity that some of you have in public speaking, okay, and in social interactions. Some of you really have a lot of social anxiety, okay, a lot of phobias when it comes to being out in the world and developing relationship and rapport. It's like you're constantly worried about everything. The worst case scenario. What are they thinking? Did I do it right? Are they gonna, do I know what they're talking about? It's like there's a lot of like self-scrutiny that a lot of you experience when you're interacting with others and meeting new people for the first time. Okay. So it's like this automatic negative thought, this automatic self-sabotaging kind of, I'm hearing it's a sick cycle. Okay. It's a sick cycle of negative thinking and negative thoughts, like doubting yourself, questioning your value, questioning your accuracy, questioning your legitimacy. This is a lot of shit going on in y'all's head, which is why you don't tell people about yourself, because you're feeling insecure. You don't want people to question you. You don't want people to ask you a question that you don't know the answer to, so you just keep them completely from talking to you. Yeah, this is the thing. Okay, I just had a client tell me this yesterday. Okay, he tries to avoid conversations with people at work so that they don't start talking and asking him too many things that he don't want to talk about. And so he just avoids the thing altogether. And that's a strategy too. Okay, but in this season, it's like if you're trying to bring in blessings, it's like you got to share more of yourself, not less. You gotta use your positive self-talk that tells you, that negative self-talk that's telling you that nobody wants to hear and it doesn't matter and what are you talking for. It's like you gotta counteract it with a positive voice that is fighting for your voice, that says no, they have to know it. They need to hear it. They must hear it from me, because I'm the one to tell them, because I know. It's like you got to find your own inner cheerleader and eliminate this negativity. Okay. A lot of energy around eliminating the negativity. Okay. Because you do have good stories. You have great wisdom to share. Okay. But you've got to share it. And this hibernation card, this is telling me a lot too. Your soul needs time alone for meditation and rest. Okay. Hibernation. So I know some of y'all see this and be like, yeah, this is why I don't fuck with people, because I need time alone for meditation and rest. Okay, this is a very specific call to action. This doesn't say your soul needs time alone because you don't fuck with people no more. It doesn't say you need time alone because you don't trust people the way you know you could. It doesn't say you need time alone because you're just fucking lost and you have no idea what type of time you're trying to be on right now. It says your soul needs alone time for meditation. Okay, that's that plug in for meditation, to log in to yourself, okay, and for rest. Hey, this is why you need separation, for meditation and rest. Meanwhile, as I'm talking about social anxiety, so many of you are avoiding stepping out into the world, building new relationships, talking and sharing about yourself candidly. You're avoiding all of this because, not because you need to meditate, you just need time alone. You're avoiding, okay? You're just avoiding the interactions. You're avoiding engaging your life. You're avoiding what you perceive to be the potential for rejection, okay? You're avoiding the potential for non-acceptance. You're avoiding the potential for being ignored, inconsidered. It's like when you feel feelings of worthiness, alienation and separation, they look different. It doesn't look like just restoration. It looks like self-care. Okay. It looks like self-protection. You keeping yourself away from the potential of being hurt or harmed emotionally from other people is self-care and self-protection. Okay? It absolutely is. Okay? It just doesn't allow you to elevate. When you disconnect, it doesn't allow you to elevate. Connection is what allows us to elevate. Sharing, building relationship. Okay? Allowing people to get to know us and us to get to know them. That is what creates expansion in your life. That's how new opportunities come into your world. Okay? That's how new wisdom, new knowing comes in, is from the outside. Okay? So, I feel like some folks is being called out. Okay, look, as I look back at the screen, she says this is so needed and so needed. Hibernation, your soul needs time alone. So, as we talk about what hibernation isn't, let's talk about what it is. Time alone. Okay? Time alone. Some of you actually do need to unplug, to get away from other people, to be with yourself, to reflect, to be introspective, to assess, to reminisce. Okay? You do need time alone. It's not avoidant behavior. It's time not by yourself, but with yourself. To meditate and to rest. To meditate is to be in deep contemplation, deep stillness, okay, deep focus. Some of you need this time to be with yourself in silence, connecting, reconnecting with yourself. Okay. Reconnecting with yourself. As I was just talking about earlier, it's like a lot of stories I'd be forgetting. Like, shit. Like, somebody was talking about something recently. I'm like, oh my God, I completely forgot about that. But it's like when we meditate, when we rest, it gives our nervous system time to recalibrate, to recenter. And when our nervous system is at bay and at peace, we can recall all kinds of things that ordinarily we might forget or ignore. Get all kinds of downloads and insight and reminders when we slow down. Okay. It's not just about thinking about all the conscious stories you need to tell. Some of you need to tell the stories of your dreams. You need to share more of your dream interpretations with people, with lovers and parents and siblings. It's like, share it. What's the new wisdom that you're getting? Okay. And how do you know when you're oversharing? How do you know when it's not the right time, or you've shared too much, or you're talking about something that people don't even care about? We'll talk about that, these cards. How do we know if we're oversharing? What are some of the ways you know if you're oversharing? Oversharing could be talking too much, too long. Oversharing could be going too deep, too personal. Oversharing can be sharing information that's not even yours to share. You're telling a story about your life, but all of a sudden you're telling it from the perspective of your older sister or older brother. It's not really your life to tell their story. It's not your business to tell. Okay? So staying focused on stories that center around you, your life and experience, okay, is a good way to stay in the healthy range of sharing. Okay. Sharing stories that have value in terms of a moral or an ethic or routine or habit or something that can be taken away from the story. Okay. It's like if your story doesn't have a why, they're saying if your story doesn't have a why, you're oversharing. Okay. If the story doesn't lend itself to why you did the things you did, or why you're telling the story, if the story doesn't have a powerful why, you're oversharing. Okay, you just like, so it's like, so what do we know? What do we learn? Okay. If you can't answer that, then you've overshared. If your story doesn't have a why, you're just talking to be talking. Okay. And the why has to benefit the audience. Okay. It's not just, I just need to get this off my chest. It's like, I needed to get this off my chest because you need to know. Okay. Your why has to be bigger than you. It's not, I just want you to know. Your why is, I want you to know because you were just talking about this, and I know that this is a challenge for you. Okay, something like that. Or I want you to know this because I know this is something that you're wanting to explore. Okay. Um, there's a lot more layers to oversharing that have a lot more to do with how you're made energetically. You know, some of us are really wise by nature. We're not even trying to learn a bunch of shit. We just naturally just pick up wisdom because we're how we're made. And when you are a wise person, you naturally want to share it, especially with someone who you think doesn't know. And we all know what it feels like to be given advice or insight, reflection from someone we didn't ask for it from. We didn't ask them. And if we didn't ask, we're probably not that interested to know. We'll tolerate it. Doesn't mean we're excited about it. Okay. But typically, if you don't have something to respond to as a reason why you're giving the advice, okay, meaning that person didn't ask you or they didn't ask you a question about anything related to it, they didn't ask you by name to tell them about it, it's like, if there's no sign, symbol, or clue that you're responding to then give that advice, you're just giving it because it dropped down in you as something to say, that's not necessarily the right time. Okay. So when we talk about oversharing, there's a timing aspect to this as well. When Jill Scott say, if you don't know how to tell me what to do, you don't know how to tell me what to do. But if you know how to tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. It's that type of energy. Timing. There's a right time. And for many of us, we got to work on the timing. For many of us, we have great ideas and things that we know that the next generation needs to hear and that we want them to know. And it's like, we want to be just the lump on the log, just sharing all the wisdom, but that doesn't mean they want to hear that shit. So if you want to share your wisdom in a way that it can be heard and can be received, okay? If you want to share it in a way it can be heard and received, you probably want to learn a little bit more about your human design. Just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit, at least to learn how you best make decisions. So then you can discern in real time, is this where I should say that or not? You should also learn your human design strategy. Your strategy allows you to get in order, in alignment with divine timing with your life. So it's not just about making decisions in general. It's about following in alignment with the natural rhythm of life. When life says, yes, we need to hear from you, you know that cue. You're like, oh shit, okay, I got something to respond to. Let me go. This is my time. Versus when you don't have anything to respond to, you just got the seed of an idea, some shit you think somebody need to know, and you're gonna just tell them without any provocation, without anything to respond to. They didn't ask you for it. They didn't hint around it. There was nothing to give you the clue that it's time to say the thing, but you said it anyway. And then oftentimes that kind of declaration or kind of oversharing is met by resistance. It's like, even if they're right, it's like, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Even if it's a great idea, it's just because you're forcing the timing. You're trying to make them do it, and it's supposed to allow them get to a point to where they naturally want to ask for it. Okay. Shout out to my parents, because we do this consistently. Like, nobody asked us, but here, this is what I want you to know, kid. Blah, 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 blah. Do this. Ay, ay, ay. Jay says, when it becomes less about the connection and you begin to betray yourself and your boundaries. Notably, on the political climate and conversation space, one of the best advice I got was, there's a way to share political turmoil without sharing your story for the lesson. Do not dump your energy on people, period. Period. So, you know, politics is one of those topics people steer clear of. Without sharing your story for the lesson. Do not dump your energy on people. Now, I might disagree with that, especially given how this message is coming. Because think about how many times political decisions were made based on how somebody felt. Is they have a heart for something. Their heartstrings get pulled in a direction, and all of a sudden there's resource and provision going in that same direction, because the person's story, their lived experience helped to create more merit behind the need, right? It's like, this is a terrible example, but when the 80s used to flood us with all this USA aid for Africa, and then they show us this pictures of all of these impoverished and malnourished African children all over our screen with flies flying around their lips and bullshit. And this was the story that was supposed to pull at our heartstrings so that we then became more generous with our pocketbooks, right? And it worked for a lot of people. It worked. I don't know where all that money went, but somebody came up. Craziness. All right, so I got 3 new cards to start winding down this message. I got 11% battery life, so we're going to make it quick. But the next card says success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. And actually, I feel like I need to look at the rest of these cards. This card says success. This one says loneliness. I know that I am never alone. And then we have gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Okay. And we're talking about oversharing. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. Okay. So it's given like this, everybody knows what it means to be messy. What does it mean to be messy in conversation? Is you're gossiping, you're sharing information or news that's not yours. You're talking about it from a sarcastic or low vibrational perspective. To be messy is to instigate a conversation or instigate facts of a conversation so that it has more drama or more appeal or interest drawn to it, okay? It's like this energy of being messy. We know what that looks like in sharing in a conversation, okay? And I'm here to remind you that you cannot line yourself up with success being messy, okay? You cannot line yourself up with success gossiping, okay, and judging and defaming somebody else's success, okay? That's not how this works. This is not how you're meant to use your throat chakra. It's talking shit and belittling the way somebody does something. That's not what you're here for, in fact, okay? So it's like this oversharing is not just about talking too much in volume or talking too fast or talking about, things that's not your business. It's also about checking the quality of the conversation, the themes of the conversation that you're entertaining, okay? And you're oversharing when you step over those boundaries into gossip and defamation and insults and messiness, okay? So steer clear. You start fucking up your own success, okay? They say every time you talk shit about somebody else, you're putting coal on your own fire, okay? So we have success, we had loneliness, and gratitude. Loneliness, I know that I am never alone, okay? I know that I'm never alone. So, you all watch me in real time demonstrate what it looks like to share wisdom intuitively. You'll hear me tell a personal story in the midst of what the downloaded message is. You hear me tell a lot of stories, okay, that relate to the downloaded message. But I don't always know where, oftentimes, most times, I don't know where the conversation is actually going when I start talking, okay? When I start channeling, and many of you know exactly what I'm talking about if you are getting comfortable with this aspect of your gift. When you start channeling and you drop into like, okay, I'm just going to lean into my intuition and whatever's coming to me now, these are not my active thoughts, I'm just feeling for it, I'm going to say it. Feel it for it, and I'm going to say it. Feel it. And it's like, it's easy to feel like, oh shit, I'm just out here. And I'll say things like, oh shit, we out here now. I don't even know where this is going. Like, okay, well, I'll keep talking. I don't know where this is going, but let me keep talking. It feels very lonely. It be feeling like you out in the deep end of the ocean when you're channeling. I feel like this often, regularly, every day, often. It's like, because I don't know. It's like, I don't know what y'all thinking, what you need to hear, what you're struggling with. I literally don't know. I'm just feeling for what conversation feels natural to have, what topic, what way I want to talk about it. I'm feeling for it every step of the way. And just because I'm feeling it and I may feel it with resonance doesn't mean that it's for sure I feel that it's accurate for you. I only know resonance for me. I know if I feel deep, deep, deep resonance for me, that tells me it's probably going to be deep, deep, deep resonance for you. And if I'm like, I don't know, and then you might be like, I don't know. But it feels very, very, very isolating. It feels very lonely. It feels very much like you're just out in the deep end and like, okay, you're a secret swim. And so it's not lonely. Okay, I'm not out here just coming up with thoughts to share with y'all and like, oh, what's the next thought? What's the next thought? I'm not pressuring myself to come up with something logical or linear. I'm challenging myself to stay connected with my sense of resonance. Okay, what does it feel like I should say? And I'm going to stand firmly on saying that. Okay, but again, I'd be lying if I said there's days and times where I don't feel like I'm questioning even myself. Where is this going? What is the point of all of this? I don't even know what I'm talking about. And y'all hear me say this in real time. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Because I don't be. Okay? I don't be knowing what I'm talking about. Let's just be talking. All right. Next card says gratitude. Okay. Oh, well, we're talking about oversharing. Okay. So you never can overshare when you're channeling. Okay, when you're feeling and sensing for what to say and what and how it's to be said, there is no overshare. And again, you see me in real time fight this shit off. Okay, when I feel like I'm about to overshare, because like energetically, I just start to feel uncomfortable with not feeling in control of the direction of the conversation. I'll start kind of backpedaling. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna say that. You know, like my human does get involved, and it's like I start kind of evaluating for safety. Like, does this sound like it's gonna hurt their feelings? Should I say that? Okay. Is this gonna be too confrontational? Should I not say that? It's like my ego mind tries to get involved a little bit because it's like, some of these messages be crazy, bro. Some of them do crazy, and I be feeling like I'm about to overshare. But if you're channeling, it's just what needs to be said, how it needs to be said, and to whom it needs to be said to. And that's just a truth you got to remember. That's the truth you got to remember. All right. When this gratitude card says, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. So this is a particular kind of message, and I need y'all to hear this, especially those of you who are business owners. You sell something, even some of the time. Not even all the time, but maybe some parts of the time of the year that you sell something. Hear this, okay? This is around money, okay? So many of us are really uncomfortable talking about money, okay? We're uncomfortable talking about it. We're uncomfortable asking for it. We're uncomfortable legitimizing our worth within it. We're uncomfortable with a lot of conversation around money. Okay. Meanwhile, you're a whole business owner. Okay. And oftentimes when people have discomfort in talking about money, they'll over talk the conversation. Okay. I've seen it too many times. You know, someone's trying to sell me something and, you know, they already make the pitch for it and I'm still quiet and contemplating whether or not I want to buy it. And then they don't see that silence as opportunity for me to reflect. They think that that silence is me doubting and second guessing. And so they need to fill that time with more conversation to convince me more of what they've already stated. So they keep talking and they keep talking and they're further trying to reiterate and sell me on this and get me to look at that. Woo! It's like, shut up. Shut up. Okay? It's okay to be quiet. It's okay to let your audience or your client decide in silence if they want to support you or invest in something that you have to offer. In fact, as a business owner, you've got to get comfortable with that silence. Give people room to think. Just because they're not saying yes immediately doesn't mean it's no. It means that they need time to reflect, to sit with it. They might have an emotional authority. They need time to come to that clarity of decision of what's for them. They need time and they need space and opportunity. And you hounding them and over talking them and, asking them more questions, they say no or they're thinking about it, you're asking them more questions, over talking, trying to get the sale in a minute, and maybe the sale is supposed to be made 2 weeks from now. Let it be quiet. Let them sit and think about it. Let them reflect. Give them some peace of mind knowing that they can do that without you pressuring them. Okay? It's a lot of energy around that. Okay? So instead of feeling like you have to operate out of a mode of desperation or unworthiness, trying to hope and beg and pray that somebody invests in you, speak about it from a place of gratitude. Okay, you do your pitch, you present your offer, and it's like, yeah, I'm really grateful that you took the time to listen. And the time that you need to come to the decision, I know is the time that you must take, because that's your process. And I'm in no hurry and I'm in no rush, and I'm going to be right here available with the same product, good, or service when you're ready. It might be a different cost because this is maybe an incentive time, but it's going to be ready and available for whenever you're ready. It's called no pressure sales. Okay. This card, gratitude, says I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. This is like no pressure sales. I'm just grateful to have the opportunity, but I don't need to pressure you into this path. Okay. I'm really grateful to be able to introduce you to this, but I'm in no way desperate for you to be my only client. Okay. It's like, even if it doesn't happen, everything's still going to be okay. Okay. So it's a lot of energy around really knowing that when you are selling something in the marketplace, it is imperative that people become your friend first before they become your client. Okay. The way you talk to your audience has to be like, friend, yada, 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 yada. Or sis, or my boy, or however you acknowledge someone that you're on common ground or have, a positive rapport with. It's like, talk to them like they're part of your community already, because they are. You have to care about them. Okay. You got to know and like them in order for them to trust you. Okay. So it's a lot of energy around these stories being a gateway into building relationship with others in your life, whether it's for business or personal. Okay. It's really working on your relationship building, using stories to let people get to know you, using stories to explain your points. Okay. Maybe you're trying to make a point and share some insight. Give them a story. Okay. Give them an analogy, an example. Okay. Give them a little taste of your own personal experience with it, or, even if it's somebody else's experience that you witnessed. Okay. But it's a lot of energy around really locking in on storytelling as a way to open up pathways for you through relationship, through work, finance, and career. Okay. Like, all of our opportunities are going to come through somebody getting to know us somewhere, whether it's a stranger or somebody that's already in our community. Okay. A lot of energy around the storytelling. Okay. We got one last card for the day, kids, and I got 5% on my phone. Let's see if we can make it happen, because if I don't, the video's not going to save it. I'm going to lose it forever. So let me hurry up. Oh my God. Can you guys like the video? If you didn't get a chance, I forgot to say that. And for anybody who wants to send me a love donation, a tip, energy exchange, buy me a cup of coffee. The details are in the show notes. Find me on CashApp at Allah-mi Basheer or PayPal Allah-mi Basheer at Gmail. Appreciate you. Those of you who've been waiting to get a human design reading, I'm going to drop the date for our group human design workshop. For those of you trying to get it figured out and still need some more support. Come on, little bug. Still need some more support. this one's going to be for you. So, of course, make sure that you are on our mailing list at begreateveryday.com and stay tuned for the date to drop at the latter part of August. Okay. But here's our last card for the day. It says immense growth. Okay. So, y'all, listen, it's given get ready. Okay. It's a lot of get ready energy. Get ready for interviews. Get ready for random people coming up to you, complimenting you. Get ready for people, just you drawing people's attention. Okay. Get ready to draw people's attention. People are going to want to learn more about you. That's why the stories are so important. So it's like whether you're recording your own blogs and vlogs, or whether you're getting interviewed for a podcast or a news publication or a TV show or whatever other thing, it's like get ready for more attention. Okay. Get ready for more attention. Get ready to have to share more stories. Okay. It's like for those of you who are like, well, I don't know what I'm going to say. Tell a story. Okay. If you're being invited to do some public speaking, it's like you better get your stories lined up. Okay. Beginning, middle, end, moral. And when you're doing a public speech, the only difference in that equation is you start with a provocative hook. Start with a provocative hook, a provocative title, or a provocative question that jumps off the conversation. Beginning, middle, end, moral. The end. That's it. The only difference with a speech is you need a provocative intro hook, okay? A provocative starting question or a provocative thought for them to ponder, okay? But it's a lot of energy around being prepared to use your voice. Again, it's a lot of open up that throat chakra energy, okay? Get ready to talk to people, a lot of people, okay? You might be doing some pop-up shops that have you talking to a lot of people regularly. Okay, you might be doing some travel that has you talking to new people regularly. Okay, you might have a new position at work that has you talking to new people regularly. You may develop a new product or good or service that has you talking to people regularly. Okay, stories. Storytellers make the best speakers. Master the art of storytelling. Okay. All right, we've got more to come. I've got 3%, so I got to dip. I love y'all so much. I'll be back out in these streets tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, live intuitive channel message. Of course, anybody who wants to book a one-on-one personal reading, please feel free to do so at begreateveryday.com. Book a clarity call or human design reading if we've never done that. And even if we had and it's been a minute, let's get a refresher because that's always a good idea. Again, go to begreateveryday.com. All right, I love y'all. We made it. Gang, gang, we made it. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I love you so much. Have a great day. No matter what. Peace.